Well, everybody, you are live with Dr. Aaron Chapa, and I am so excited just to talk to you guys about another layer of the health and wellness curve. We have to pay attention to sleep. And so I thought I would just take tonight and just share some of the ideas about sleep, things that we really can't appreciate about sleep, and then how we're going to evolve forward in getting you sleeping better. Because if you're not sleeping well, you're not healing well. And that is a major, major problem in today's culture is people are on sleep aids, people are tossing and turning during the night, people are staring at the ceiling wondering why they can't sleep through the night. They're having wicked, wild, bizarre, funky, exotic dreams. I'm curious, of all those that are tuned in to tonight's show, deal with a sleep issue, put it in the chat. Is it I can't fall asleep? My mind races at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I'm up for hours? Is it that once you do fall asleep, you're great, except 2 hours later, you're bright eyed and bushy tailed, ready to rock and roll, and it's 12 midnight, 1:30 in the morning, and you're wondering, why is my partner still sleeping and I'm over here struggling? Or do you find yourself having wicked, wild, bizarre, funky, exotic dreams at night? Or are you peeing several times a night? These are all classic indications that your body is crying out for help. So we always come every week with some ideas, tools, tricks to help you live better, be better, stay better. Let food be thy medicine, guys. Let your lifestyle choices be your medicine. That is the end goal. That's where we want to take you. That's where we want to lead you. Because if you are leaning into medications, I was just listening to a podcast, and a doctor was talking about how in the olden days in obstetrics, they would look at x-ray in order to measure the size of the uterus until they discovered that was causing cancer. That sucks. Then they stopped doing that. Then they started adding another type of drug. And that drug was causing arms not to grow and legs not to grow and malformations of extremities and fingers, and people were deformed coming out. So they decided that was a bad idea, especially for you people that have had to have VBACs or had a C-section prior. So these are all the classic indications that medicine is essentially guessing. They're practicing, but they're practicing with drugs. They're practicing with technology that hasn't been well researched, and therefore you and our generational family, so to speak, that we're culturally living alongside are under the tutelage of these practicing physicians. And God bless them. I get it. We all are practicing, so to speak. We are all practicing in order to help the better game of wellness to come forth. The difference, though, in a practice setting in my office, my malpractice is next to nothing compared to Western medicine doctors. Why? Because we expect no claims. We're not expecting people to have birth defects, and we're not going to see people have side effects. They may have some uncomfortability in like a form of a rash, or they may see maybe even a headache pop up, but they're not going to have cancer because of taking ashwagandha, or they're not going to have issues with their breast if we're doing Spanish black radish. They're not going to have an issue of belly pain or discomfort that is cancer causing with a detox program. That is what is the major difference between what we offer at our office and what other people are offering at theirs. Is we are teaching people how to live better, be better, and stay better through lifestyle practice and change, getting you to see that what you put in your mouth is either giving you restoration. All life starts and stops at the cellular level. Nutrition is the driving force to allow your body to thrive and to heal, and to get your body in a position to come in for a nice clean sleep landing. That's where we're going tonight, guys. Is we've got to first assess this idea of how many people out there right now are struggling with sleep issues. And an interesting stat, sleep aids only account for about a 15% improvement in overall quality sleep. I mean, you're going to risk dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, neural degeneration from side effects of medication for a 15% improvement in sleep? Some of you might say, that sounds great, I'll take it. Well, it doesn't have to be that way. You need to find a better solution. And at drchopperwellness.com, we got our detox in a box. We're always helping people forward on doing detox, because if you're not detoxing in the 21st century, guys, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. And it was brought to my attention that some of you guys, just as a quick aside, as we get into this, that detox doesn't necessarily mean you have a drug addiction. It doesn't mean that you have an alcohol addiction. It doesn't mean that you have to check yourself into a rehab facility. That ain't that kind of detox. Praise the Lord. Most of you guys that understand even a little bit of alternative well-being and alternative medicine or functional medicine recognize that we are doing what's called root cause medicine, upstream medicine, or what my favorite word is transformational medicine. Transformational meaning your life will be transformed at the molecular level. Doesn't that sound awesome? Please, somebody give me something in the chat. I want to know that you are getting this. And when you tune in to the show and you share it with your friends, family, and loved ones, it is such a blessing for me to respond and to teach you how to live better, be better, stay better, one bite at a time, baby, one bite at a time. We are in this thing together. And I want people to understand that they don't have to suffer anymore. They can stop the madness. And it starts, in this case tonight, at the cellular level. And nutrition is always the fundamental driver, because if you have good nutrition, your gut lining will produce the adequate neurotransmitters so that you come in for a clean landing at night. That sounds pretty good to me. And I want that for you. You want that for you, because you need 8 hours of sleep a night, right? That's what they keep telling us. But the truth is that is not accurate. You need 4 to 5 complete sleep cycles a night. And each sleep cycle is a 90-minute rotation through all the phases of care. That you don't even have to pay attention to what's happening as long as you go to bed, your eyes close, you drift off into twilight, then go down deep into the REM cycles where you have these health and regenerative practices that you don't have to manage. You see, if you're having to manage it with a medication, then you are altering the depth of sleep, the quality of sleep. So if you're a light sleeper, put in the chat, you're my person. I need to help you. Now, you might say, well, aren't you going to give me a detox program to help me with sleep? Isn't that, essentially managing my sleep? Yeah. But through detoxification, we are cleansing the tissues. We are healing tissue and getting the body to connect better and to thrive better and to support its neighboring cell systems better. And all of a sudden the body goes, oh, dude, I know what buttons to push to get this body to go into a deep sleep state. You see, when people tell me that they are up dreaming all night long, I know they're not sleeping. You should never see your brain taking a bath. You should never see your brain filing away yesterday's learned data into long-term storage so that you can supernaturally recall it tomorrow. That should never be seen. That is something that sleep should be: a peaceful, restful, calm sleep that allows you to wake up refreshed in the morning, energized in the morning, no headaches, no hormone problems, and you go, whoa, wow, man, that was like the fastest sleep ever. It should be literally like going in to, have you ever like done anesthesia, right? And then you count backwards from 10 and then you wake up. It should be about like that. The only difference is between anesthesia and getting real sleep is that I'm not medicating you to sleep. I might be nudging your biochemical pathways to thrive in such a way where they can support the overall fire and inflammation, the disease processes that are happening in your body day in and day out, that your body is accumulated waste to the point where it can't do its functional job as it's designed. It needs a little help. So at drchopperwellness.com, we've got podcasts on this. We've got videos on how to do detox. We've got courses that we've built, and we want you to plug into it. When you start taking care of your liver, my daughter comes to me and says, "Where's my liver?" And I show her, on that diagram, right side rib cage. It's huge. If I were to draw it, I mean, it's mind-boggling how big this thing is. 1,600 pathways. And the reason people are hot at night is because their liver is toxic and clogged up. The reason people dream at night is because people's liver is backed up and the body isn't processing at the rate it's supposed to during the night. Your liver's most active between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And she says, "Well, I don't feel like I'm eating that bad, Dad. How do I keep it clean?" Well, I said, it's like every day you got to hydrate well. Every day you got to take your vitamins. Every day you got to do some maintenance work, because we are inundated in a world today that even if you are eating perfect carnivore or perfect detox, you're still getting pesticides on the food. They're still using spices or bad oils. Unless you're making every food choice at home and you're buying grass-fed beef and pasteurized free, dairy products for those that like that kind of stuff, you have to realize you are getting exposed to hormones and antibiotics and chemicals and compounds and refined agents. My daughter says, "Well, what's refining?" Well, refining means they are taking parts of the God-given process that you should be eating from nature and removing it. As a matter of fact, there's another key word, not just refining, but enriching. Then they're enriching that same processed food with vitamins that are no better than coal tar derivatives, like from the street. So that is fascinating that B vitamin molecules are in the coal tar, that vitamin C molecules can be found in the coal tar, and they can package that up somehow and they can sell that to us in a form of a bread product. Who doesn't eat some kind of cracker, bread, something of that nature? They're getting exposed to fake B vitamins. They're getting exposed to things that clog up your liver. So I was like, "Honey, you have to understand that when you eat too many carbohydrates, too many refined sugars, too many artificial ingredients, too many processed ingredients, meaning most food with a label, you have to maintain your body's exit strategies more effectively." We were never designed to consume waste products in the form of refining or enriching or artificial ingredients at the rate people are creating them. And so we created a detox program that will help you restore your body back to vitality. And it will improve your sleep, because by purging some of that gunk, funk, trash, waste out of your liver, you're going to sleep deep. You're going to feel amazing when you get up. You're going to go, "Dude, I haven't slept like that since I've been like 12. And I'm going to say, "I know. That is because your liver has been bound up for years." And people go, "Well, all I eat is fruit, so I'm not getting into too much sugar, right?" I said, No. Your fruit sugar is only processed by the liver. So you can overindulge in fruit and clog up your liver. And lots of fruit. If you go to the EWG.org website and look at their clean 15 and their dirty dozen, you'll see a fruit cocktail is as pesticide laden, rich, and clogging up your system as any other food source. And I want to encourage you guys to recognize that you are in control of your health and well-being. It's your life, it's your health, it's your choice. You get to participate in this wellness journey. And in order to maximize sleep, you've got to take care of the liver. And again, if you're not detoxing in the 21st century, you are missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. So I want you guys to grasp hold of this, because it is indeed your life, your health, your choice. And we all have a job to do here in maximizing our wellness journey. We don't have to suffer with ails that we've been dealing with all these days that are basically symptom patterns that you've genetically you weren't born with them, but now all of a sudden you have them. So you have to ask the question, Can my body heal? Do I believe my body can heal? And I'm going to tell you, yes, of course it can. And I want you to grasp hold of that very thing, is that anything your body can develop, it can undevelop. So let's talk about sleep. Okay, so when we look at the sleep cycles of the day, you recognize that in a deep sleep state, you should be completely subconscious. You should not even know that you're in a deep sleep state. I always tell my kids, when you, or if, I pray they don't, but if you ever need me in the middle of the night because you're in jail or something, guess what? I'm probably not going to answer the phone because I'm in a deep sleep state. And when I wake up, I will deal with whatever we have to deal with. However, when we look at people that cannot stay asleep, and because of the light on their smoke detector, or the moonlight coming in from the window outside their bedroom, we know that sleep is not being performed at its best or at its prime. And so I really want to grasp hold of, how do we get people to sleep better? People go, well, does melatonin work? People like melatonin products. Um, you know, I've never been first line of defense to use a hormone type product to manage how my body is going to uh, unwind at the end of the day. I want to teach people to look at their pH. And when it comes to pH testing, it's simple. I have this pH paper that we use at the office, and every morning when they get up, I want them to pee on pH strips. What the pH strips will do is the pH strips will show if their cleaning lady showed up last night and did a good job or not. And if the cleaning lady did not show up last night to do a good job, they will be at like 5.5 super duper acidic, which most people know inflammation is acidic. Okay. Most people know is cancer is acidic. So when you have symptom patterns that you weren't genetically born with, if you have bad sleep patterns that you don't know how to resolve, your pH is probably off and you need mineral restoration. So that's one of my techniques, is I will do a lot of mineral restoration. Somebody asked me today, they said, should I do a coffee enema before or after sauna? And I said, oh, I would do it after, because I've just stirred up all the trash, waste, and debris and the detox from the sauna. Then I want to go flush out what I can. But beware, I said, you should maximize and take tons more mineral force before and during and after those processes, because they do stir up your body's elimination pathways. Therefore, for every toxin that you get rid of, if I had the ability to unitize like lead or aluminum or some adjuvant from a vaccine that you took or a medication, you are losing 2 to 3 to 4 minerals. So we have to do some pH work in order to balance that out. And we would use a lot of mineral force or calcium magnesium powder in order to get that body to shut down effectively. Sometimes magnesium threonate, a little more expensive, approach, but it works really great. So we can definitely leverage it. But at the end of the day, if we don't get the pH right, we don't get the body to sleep cool. Then the body is restless during the night. The liver struggles because it can't detox effectively. So essentially, minerals are a key ingredient that we can take during the day to prepare us for a good night's sleep. That's pretty cool, right? Or we can use a good dose of sunlight. Sunlight's a great idea. How often are we not getting at least 20 minutes of sunshine every day? That could be very easily handled just by getting up earlier and going for a walk as soon as you get home before the sun goes down. Some of us, I know you have a busy schedule and it doesn't work out. But get in the sun as much as you can, and let's not be afraid of it. Did you know, if you have a sensitivity or a fair skin complexion, that being minerally rich, essential fatty acid rich, that's my omega force, my mineral force, my calcium magnesium powder, guess what? You got a natural sunblock built into your body. So now your body's going to be more apt to get what it needs from the sun and give you the mineral ability to handle the sun if you're that fair complected, a sun sensitive person, and give your body the pH it needs and get your body to shut down and run into a well balanced sleep routine and pattern. Avoid bedtime snacks. That's a big one. Particularly things like sugar. Who doesn't have a midnight snack that's laced with, I'm sorry, guys, ice cream? That's a big one that people love. No wonder you need to detox. You're putting in tons of sugar right before your body goes into a deep restoration cycle, and you wonder why you're not getting good rest. Well, you just jacked your insulin up. You just jacked your sugar up. You jacked your cortisol up. You caused your body to go nuts because you have abused the sugar snack, midnight snack game. Okay. And a lot of us just aren't active enough to be able to afford that type of behavior. So avoid bedtime snacks, especially things that are laced in sugar. I mean, I've been talking about a lot. I remember talking to different doctors in the past, and it really comes down to control sugar, control insulin. I mean, it's amazing to me. As a matter of fact, I have this cool book right here, and it's called Eat Bacon, Don't Jog. Get Strong, Get Lean, No BS by Grant Peterson. Pretty cool, right? And he's not a doctor, so I'll say that right out the gate. But I picked it up because it's a skinny, cool book, and it has big words, and it's not hard to read. And I thought, wow, that's cool. And he says right here, okay, on page 2, it comes down to insulin, but it starts with carbohydrates. So it's got a picture of the devil right there, okay? And the devil is insulin. You get too many insulin spikes, you are going to have metabolic disorders. You're going to have sleep disruption. And I love this. It says the insulin hit list. Get this. Insulin converts calories to fat. Even the calories from fat-free foods become body fat. I know a lot of people are afraid of the word fat. And I'm not wanting any of my patients to be crackhead skinny. I don't want you to be under 8% body fat. You can't be healthy like that forever. I mean, if you're bodybuilding and you have a purpose, fine, whatever. But even those guys, you live like that for too long, it's a recipe for early death. I mean, that's not aging well, by the way, just looking like GQ magazine. And a lot of these guys that are GQ magazine stars, they'll tell you it's too much work. I mean, being a professional is one thing, but being like so deprived and keeping your fat ratio so low, and your body can't do basic physiology because your fat resources are too low, that's dangerous. All right. So insulin stores fat on your hips. Uh-oh. I thought, well, how'd the fat get there? No, it's telling you insulin stores fat on your hips, belly, back, wherever you tend to pack it on, insulin is putting it there. That's why insulin's the devil. Okay. When you exercise hard and long and you think you're burning body fat, but you're not, insulin won't let you burn it because you put in too many carbohydrates. So reducing insulin levels is the key to losing fat, a key to getting healthier, a key to, fueling your body towards success. Quit eating carbs. The fat's not your problem. The protein's not your problem. Insulin is the problem. Eating carbohydrates drives up insulin. Cutting way back on carbs lowers your insulin levels. And that is the end game. That's the solution. So good book. You should check it out. And it'll keep you active. It'll teach you some really cool practices that'll get you in the game. And so stop eating sugar. Stop spiking your insulin. Stop eating useless carbs. And it's the letter C in my crap. Excessive amounts of carbohydrates, refined sugars, artificial ingredients, and processed foods are wrecking your health. And then you stack on there that you are not. You stack on there that you're stagnant and you have a sedentary job, a sitting job. Did you know sitting's the new smoking? Of course. This is why people aren't sleeping, is they're not getting deep into their sleep cycles because they've got extra energy. Okay. All right, next one on the list. Let's see. Eat a light meal in the evening. So you've heard the old saying, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Over in Slovakia, my daughter just got back. Guess what their biggest meal of the day was? Lunch. So if you're intermittent fasting, let your biggest meal of the day be lunch, and then you eat like a peasant at dinner. Eat light and no sugar. Right? Avoid the sugars. And you go, man, Chop, this is no fun anymore. And I don't want to live like that. And I'm like, well, but you got health conditions and health issues. And you have to understand that what you've been doing that got you in the boat you're in isn't going to work for you any longer. So this is a wake up call that yes, you might have to make some lifestyle changes. Yes, you might have to swallow the bitter pill that your life, your health depends on your choices. Ooh, it's a responsibility a lot of us don't want. I love that shirt. I don't want to adult today. I mean, I get it. I get it. I don't want to adult today either. But at the end of the day, what is the price I pay when I can't pick up my grandkids or love on my children or swim or walk? I had a guy come by the house the other day and pick up something I was selling on Facebook. And guess what? He asked me to carry the thing to his car because his knees were bad, because he's wobbly boot. And he didn't look that old. I asked him, I said, how old are you? And he said he was 62. And I'm like, bro, in my mind, I'm like thinking, this is terrible. And when I'm in my 60s, I still want to be swinging my kettlebell. I want to be swinging my club. I want to live life fully functional in spirit, mind, and body. Okay. So before bed, again, this is the things to do to make sure that you are sleeping well. Okay. So here we go. If you can, get your room as dark as possible. Get it as cool as you can like it. Sometimes I've seen these bed jets or the 8 Sleep, pillow topper, and you can control the temperature on either side of you or your partner's bed, and everybody can sleep at their desired temperature. Temperature control matters. If you're sleeping in a hot environment or a loud environment because you got the TV on all night long, that'd be another one to take off the list. You got to control the temperature and control the light. Blue light, like even this computer that I'm in here right now, this, little, face lamp that makes my face glow. These are things that are lighting me up and get me all fired up. That is not improving my sleeping through the night. But I use them because, I'm live on a show at 7 p.m. And I want to be here alive and alert for you guys, right? So, but when I go to bed, my room is dark. My room is cool, and my sleep aid is cooler. My wife's side, it's a little warm, so she likes hers a little warmer. I like mine a little cooler, but that is another easy way to manage your sleep, okay? Wear socks to bed. Feet have a lot of issues in circulation, and when people have circulatory problems because of insulin, because of metabolic disorders, guess what? This is your secret to sleeping better. Throw a pair of socks on. Another cool tip before bed, take a fingerful of my calcium magnesium powder, throw it back. It will put your body into a restful parasympathetic state where you will go to sleep well. You will sleep deeper than you can imagine. I mean, it's so nice. And then, or if we need to, we'll even throw in some Sleep Force, which has, the neurotransmitter support to bring the brain down a notch so that we're helping you. But it means that you're not getting adequate B vitamins and minerals during the day to bring you in for a clean landing. It means that you've got excess amounts of toxins, chemicals, and debris in your liver and your lymphatics and your bowels that are sabotaging your body's ability to eliminate waste well. And that stuff is backing up into the system. It's backing up into the lymphatics. So I told my daughter, baby, you just got to maintenance this stuff. So I'll tell you guys, you got to maintenance this stuff. I know your liver can handle it, but can it really? Because I had a patient come in. She did an acid wash in her room, her bathroom that's attached to her bedroom because she's got one of those master suites. And guess what she discovered? Low back pain for 3 days. Her mom helped her. And guess what she had? Neck pain and kink in her neck for 3 days. And we had to do foot baths. We had to do some liver work and some chemical detox work in order to help purge that waste, trash, and debris out of the body and give them an adjustment and send them on their way. That is toxins that your body doesn't need to process on its own. You need to give it some support. So guys, if you're interested in well-being, go to drchapawellness.com. Share this message with your friends, family, and loved ones. We appreciate you teaching others by letting us share the message of hope and well-being in the health arena. We are your wellness authority. We believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and anything your body's developed into metabolically that you're not happy with can be reversed. All life starts and stops at the cellular level. I can say this till I'm blue in the face. And your choices, your life, your health, your choice maximizes your impact in making a difference. So I pray that you guys have a blessed evening. I'm excited that you will take these tips, share them with your friends, family, and loved ones. I've got more. I didn't even share with you the essential oils, tips and tricks. I'll just throw that out there. A little peppermint oil on your calves before you go to bed. You'll go drift off to sleep. But please understand, if you are waking up at night, if you're waking up more tired in the morning, if you are peeing through the night, you need help in the sleep department. And drchopawellness.com is your solution to getting healthy, staying healthy, and being healthy all the days of your life. So, guys, without further ado, I'll take your questions, but I'm out. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful evening, and we will chat on the flip side.